Markup percent. So let's just do a little recap. Dollar markup, right, is the dollar amount and the difference between the cost of the item to the business and the business's selling price of the item. Now, markup percent is the percent increase of the cost of the item to get to the selling price. In the examples below, we need to convert the percent to a decimal, which is part of the equations. Now, so example 1, a retail business sells handmade bars of soap, which cost them $5 each. If the business has a 55% markup on the bars of soap, what is the selling price of each bar of soap? So we're going to use the following below. So we have dollar markup, right, and that's equal to the cost times the markup divided by 100%. Now we do the dividing by 100% to change the percent into a decimal. So let's go ahead and start to do that first. The first equation, right? And so we can see cost, which is cost is right here. We have a markup, which is right there. So let's go ahead and solve. So $5, and I'm going to go like that, and then we have 55% divided by 100%, right? And so what do we get? Well, let's get our calculators out. So we got 55 divided by 100 first, right? Because that's in parentheses. We're going to go ahead and multiply that by 5, and we get $2.75. So that's our dollar markup, right? And so this dollar markup, let's do a different color, right, goes right here, and then we're going to add it to the cost, right? So all we go here is selling price, which is equal to $2.75 plus $5. Well, that would just then be, right, $7.75, and that would be our selling price. Now, let's go ahead and look at the second example. So example 2, a retail business sells women's clothing. The jeans cost them $26 each. If the business has a 140% markup on the jeans, what's the selling price of the jeans? So we're going to use the following below, right? So we have dollar markup, which is equal to the cost, times, and then you do the markup percent, right? This is the markup right here, divided by 100%, so we can get it into a decimal. And then we take the dollar markup and we add that to the cost to get our, right, selling price here. So let's go ahead and do the first equation. So we have a cost of $26 times, and then we have 140% divided by 100. And then we're going to go ahead and multiply that by 26, because that's the cost, and we get $36.04. Now our next step will be to find the selling price, right? Because that's our dollar markup, right? We found that to be $36.40. And so now we can go ahead and add, right? So this is dollar markup. We're going to go ahead and add it right here in the second equation, right? We needed the first equation to solve for this. And then we add it to the cost. So plus 26, and what do we get? Well, we get $62.40. And that is our selling price. Example 3. A retail business sells women's clothing. The sweaters cost them $30 each. If the business has 120% markup on the sweaters, what is the selling price of each sweater? So we're going to use the following below. So notice that this equation actually is just 1, and we can still solve it by knowing the markup, right, and the cost. So we're going to use the same things, but we're doing it a little differently, and the only reason why we can do that is because we're adding the cost of the item as 100%, right? So we're already including it right here. So the cost of, right, this $38 is being included with this 100%. That's how we can get away with it in one equation. So the selling price now is equal to, well, 100% plus 120%, but we're going to go ahead and divide that by 100%, and so then we're going to go ahead and multiply it by the cost, which is $38. So let's go ahead and get the calculators out. We're going to start with the innermost, right, which we actually already know what that will be. That will be 220%, right, and then we're going to go ahead and divide that by 100%. Right, and anytime you really divide by 100%, you're really just moving the decimal over 2 times, right? So we're going to get 2.2, but let's go ahead and just do that real quick, just to show you. So 2.2, then we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 38, and what do we get? Well, we get $83.60. Remember, this is money, so we're going to always round to the nearest hundredth.